And we are live from a frost-bound Cambridge, Massachusetts, the headquarters, the capital city of the Internet. It's right here, right around us. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Lant, speaking to you from Worldprofit's headquarters in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where every well-known Internet site, Cambridge is the Rome of our time. With Howard Martell, he is he's a firebrand. He's going to tell you a few things, I'm sure, in his inimitable style. Good to see you up here. And we are talking to people like Boozmat from all over the world. I have a message for you. Listen up. And here you have Veronica, who's back, Boozmat. They're all the old favorites who keep coming and coming and coming and do nothing. Yes, my message today is particularly for you. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Worldprofit. We've been doing this now for over 20 years. We are the longest-running live program in the world. What we do is tell it like it is. We don't make up stuff. We have a good time. But we also have a very serious message, and that is here's how you put money in your pocket via the Internet. So, listen up. And one of the things that I'm sick and tired of is people like Boozmat and RG and Veronica coming and pretending that they know something. They know nothing. And so the first thing you should do, Harjeet, and Boozmat, and Veronica, is to put your arrogance on the side of the room and come on in and listen to what we have to tell you. We alter our lives for the better, and even touch your own. How we have people coming in here all day long, 50 times, 100 times. We had somebody here yesterday 600 times. Didn't know what to do. It's crazy when we offer the best training program in the world, which is a couple of keystrokes away. Want to say, we'll speak to that before we begin?
Yes, as always, Happy New Year to all our dealers. I can't believe I've been over 5 years here, and it's been a great ride for me. I'm looking forward to the next 5 or 10 or 20 years or whatever Worldprofit does for me. All I know is that I am making money consistently, and I'm helping people globally. And people know who Howard Martell is now. They're like, oh, who's Howard Martell? He's not this shy boy anymore. He's this Internet marketing guru, thanks to George Kosh.
That's what I looked out of the box. First, I want to set the parameters. This program is called Anything Goes for a reason. We say it like it is. We don't want to people in talk, get out. Don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. Don't tell me that we didn't like... Oh, and there's our first mistake, Celerino. Celerino, who invited you to come into my living room and post foreign posters? Are you a mad person? Howard, give him the old razzmatazz. I want him out of here. This is let me analyze what you just said. Oh, it must be in Harvard room today. It must be doing what we call teaching moments. We used to call them teaching moments at Harvard. Here's a teaching moment if there was one. Here's this guy who comes in, and he is so desperate for traffic that he does the stupidest thing he can do, which is put up a poster for his stuff, which nobody even read. No one could have read it. All I saw was his name, and that, whoop, it was gone. He speaks a level of frustration and just plain craziness. He has nowhere to go for traffic. And now listen to me, people. We have 134 people looking in right now, and I want to sign up every single one of you. We have a spectacular offer for every single one of you. But I want you to get real. Running around the world and randomly placing URLs on water towers is not going to do a hell of a lot of good. However, we see this all the time. People start sneaky testing. They come in, and they're going to take over all the traffic of the Internet off. That one link is up there for a millisecond. It's crazy. It's absolutely stupid.
Worldprofit. That's all he was posting up there, and I'm like, why up there? Because we already know what Worldprofit has. It has no complaints. Been around for 20 plus years. It's stupidity.
Well, let's talk
about
one
of those energy vampires.
Let's talk about what people write on the Internet. One of the phenomena that developed over the last 20 years is that people who they think their competitors are and write up all sorts of scurrilous things about them. They make up names, or they sign them anonymously or whatever. This is disgusting. It's despicable. So no one anymore can trust anything that's said on the Internet, unless you're with the person you see them do it. How many of you have responded to ads or whatever with their testimonials and they're completely bogus. My own father said to me, he said, how do you react to when somebody attacks you on the internet? I said, well, Dad, it's like this. Where after you write a couple thousand articles and 20 books, people are going to attack you. They're not going to agree with everything you say. I had an incident which was maybe alarming, maybe not. I never did figure it out. I was over, I do all these programs in the monarchy. I was over at NBC doing a program on Queen Elizabeth and the fact she canceled her Christmas party. The Queen of England cancels her staff Christmas party for lack of money. So I thought this was historical. I wrote an article, and I said that I would be willing to contribute 2 dozen tuna fish sandwiches with or without the bread, the crust. The Queen just specified whether she liked the crust or not on her tuna fish sandwich, and I was going to send them to Buckingham Palace with the box of candy canes. She could go ahead and have her Christmas party. And as I was walking in the door, literally had the key in the lock, there was a person on the other phone being a message. I'm going to kill you. You defamed the Queen of England. Who the hell you think you are, boy? You are. We're going to shoot you dead. And of course, these days you never know. Maybe some wandering terrorists were around protecting the Queen from adverse comments about her Christmas party. So my father says, how do you cope with this? I say, first of all, expect it. If you're doing something that is beneficial, somebody's going to have at you for the fact that they didn't think of the idea. So number one, don't take it personally. It's part of the internet game.
Exactly.
People attack their competitors. There was a program, if you watch that program on the consulting restaurateur, the British guy that goes around to restaurants around the world and it brings them back to, brings them up to code or something. He was in England doing a review of a restaurant, and he saw on the internet that they had like 50 different comments. They were all positive, and they were all virtually top tweets. So he turns to the owner and said, did you put these comments on? He said, I was writing anything at all. I wrote them all. This is it. People write their own, of course, a lot of toward to the skies. I prefer to have people meet me, guess at what they see. Yeah, you see what you see, what you get. How it goes. That. Want to speak to that? People they'll do anything rather than work. They would, instead of improving the restaurant quality, he writes 90 reviews of it, says it's terrific. Better to produce one good meal that garners one good compliment than 90 books comments in the trash. You right? Wrong?
So true, Dr. Lant. As I said, I'm glad I found Worldprofit when I did, because I was doing it way wrong. Now, model of what consistency and what the community can bring, and I tell people, I was shopping at Target today, and I was talking to the attendant that was taking my money from me, basically. And I said, I'm about to go do my home-based business. Like, you got home-based business? Like, yeah, I did pretty good this year. You want cards? Like, yep. I said, if you have any questions, my website's right here. We're open 24/7. That's it. I mean, it's simple as that, people. You need to reach out to people, especially in your local communities. These people want what we have. You think she wants to be working at Target? She's probably not making much money. We can help her.
Target is enough to live on, and that's what it is. It is the classic J.O.B. just over broke. Not a couple months ago, someone was laying me out for something I had written, and this was the final insult. You're going to die all by yourself. That's exactly. I said to him, I said, do people die in groups? What do they do? They die in disco clubs? I mean, everybody dies alone. That's the nature of the beast. You can be surrounded by people you love, and you're still alone, still making that trek by yourself. He said, no, I mean, you're gonna be all alone. And I said, why? Because I thought you were an idiot. That qualifies as life. I've been studying episodically for a long time is what people say to insult each other. One of the things that people, and the internet is prime territory for this. People say the damnedest thing to each other, and what really matters. Every once in a while we have somebody pop up here and put some scurrilous comment on the screen. It is a measure of their paucity, first of all, that these comments, isolated comments are boring, Howard. Have you noticed how boring it is? F you this, F you that.
They're very disrespectful, and I think it.
Not only that, they're dull. If you're going to attack me, please make it colorful and engaging.
Use some educational words.
But they can't. They're trapped. Okay, so here, let's get started with today's program. I wanted to talk today to 150 people in the audience about the mistakes you are absolutely 100% certain to make in 2015 about your internet business. Howard and I are going to go through some. These mistakes are going to kill you. You're going to make them, and then at the end of the year, I want you to send me a note. Should I listen to you? And I sit here and I scratch my head and say, yeah, you should have. I probably get more notes than any other writer in the history of the world about, I should have listened to you. That's right. There's a whole category of them. Have you noticed that? Dr. Lant screamed at me, and I took it personally. I said, you should take it personally. I'm screaming at you because I'm trying to save your soul. Mm-hmm. Ugh. You know, did you ever watch a Baptist evangelist baptizing a person? They don't just dip your face in a teaspoon of blood. They go, Ram! In the name of Ram! Of course they did. Because why? Because they want to leave a lifelong impression. The incident is important to the recipient and to the giver, and they want to have it for life. All right, so here's the first mistake that you guys are going to make. You are not going to do your promotion every day. I can absolutely lay honest money that every person in this room is going to have a day. Well, I'm sorry, only a day. No, how many days? Well, okay, 2 days. Over how many days? Over 3. When you start getting the facts, ask them, well, how did you handle your promotions last week? Well, pretty well, which meant they know I'm going to zero in on them. Well, how many days did you promote? Well, most of them. Most. Oh, yeah, well, how many is most? Well, several. You never get this answer from a person who doesn't want to tell you they've done squat all during the course of a week. Never. My first prediction, since it's January the 1st, 2015, every single person listening to this program will miss a day and flub it and say, oh, true or false? Howard, comment?
True, but there's a specific group of us that promote every single day, and George knows who they are. And that's what I do every single day. Now I'm going to call your bluff again.
Do you recall here? I'm going to be like Jack Parr. I'm going to be the Swami. Oh, the Swami is about to speak. Do you recall a day having to do with a dog in a lunch party?
Yes, and I learned a lesson from that.
I know you did. And did that occur in 2014?
Yes, it did.
All right. Howard and I have a little, shall I say, a little one-upsman's thing going here. Everybody is going to miss. Now, I don't mind the rare day, but what I mind is the lying about it. If you missed a day because you flubbed it up, look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, screw it up. Don't go around lying to protect yourself. You're going to spend a lot of wasted time and energy protecting yourself when you should be out there promoting. Now, we've got Larry West, who's just joined us, and we've got Kyle, who's just joined us. Larry West, you're sitting at one-time-only offer. You can go from there, or you can click on this link on the green that we just posted. All right, anyone want to dispute me? So one of the things that kills people, and my mother said to me about 50 years ago, she said, you'd be a lot more lovable if you'd be a lot more. People would love you more if you were wrong more often. And there's such an insight into that. If you notice your friends, think of how many friends you chose because they're inferior to you. Just think about it for a minute. Think about how many of your marriages that you married the person not that was superior to you, or the one that wasn't. I'm not going to drag this up because this is really chirping on thin ice. And Patrice Porter says, "Are you having just floating day or a kick butt day?" Okay. Does anyone disagree with me? Your friends consist largely of the people you regard yourself as superior to. You want to have your little court so that they'll say, oh, you are the smartest. Oh, can I make your bed for you? Oh, can I sew your socks for you? do you think about that? Do you think that's the point?
Of course.
Poor old Howard. I've got him right in the corner. He doesn't go up and down.
The fact of it is that lesson you taught me was to not stop promoting. And in December, I was right up there, very close to where getting to Linda. Of course.
Now, well, first of all, I wanted to tell you something about Linda. I was feeding her. I was feeding during my regular promotions, like anything goes. I was feeding her a couple of keynote things. I said, listen, Mistress LZ, merge yourself. So I give her some ideas about how to write up a landing page. And she sends me, excuse me, Linda, this is the God's Honest Truth, and I am here for the God's Honest Truth Society. She sent me something that was crap. The line lengths were 4 times the length they should have been. It was all turgid prose. I said, Linda, what are you, a sadist? You want these people to respond, not have a coronary trying to figure out what you're all about. Let me tell you the best ad. Lose weight now. Ask me how. That was one of the most famous ads ever written in this country. It made the people who were behind it. Mind you, they had no product. The product was made out of sand off the beach and dust from industrial laboratories. They had no product, but they had the best single marketing campaign ever. Because it was all word of mouth, which everybody knows is the most powerful marketing. When you say, when a friend says, did you see that film? Did you see The Inspector the other day? Oh, yeah, it was a great film. You're going to go see it. Oh, God knows, this is a plain stupid film, all that blood and all that guts. Oh, God, I don't see that. Word of mouth advertising is bar none the most important and lucrative and influential and insightful kind of marketing there is. We have one named Mrs. Russell joining us here. We have Benjamin and we have Larry West. We are in the business of making money for you. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the queerest thing of all about this company. This goes, Mrs. Russell, are you an expert in marketing? Do you know how to market worldwide to achieve dramatic results, make $1 million a year? Well, certainly not, Dr. Lant. I certainly don't. Well, then why the hell aren't you sitting at my knees saying, tell me everything, Master. Tell me everything, oh Master. And giving me an invitation to your ashram. Hey, did you know that all gurus secretly have ashrams? That's right, in their backyard. Well, I'll sell you one of mine. It's your own special ashram cookies. Why does Ms. Russell, why does Benjamin, why does Larry West sit up there and say nothing when I'm the one guy in the world that could help them make the money? Now answer me that, Batman.
I think it's an inner belief system. They don't think they can do it. They think Worldprofit's a scam. They think they think we're snake salesmen. We're not snake salesmen. We're real people, and we want to help you.
Here's how I read it. Mrs. Russell and Benjamin and Larry are sitting at the end of the fence. They're right outside the fence, and they're out. They know that it's really happening inside. They don't want it. They're afraid of what's going to happen. I'll give you, for instance, when my book on Harvard came out, called Our Harvard years ago, I had a big party at Harvard. I mean, a big party. Lots and lots of celebrities. And my mother is a woman who picked up people her whole life. Mother! The missionaries are eating my food. Howard will identify with this. So my mother calls me one day and says, I have two friends in Boston. Could you... No. None of your broken wing critters. So of course she wheedles me down as your mother. People soon talk about I don't know what. They hide out in the corner. And it made me so mad. I said, Mother, I'm going to get you this. I said, Miss whatever, would you like a drink? Would you like to meet Arthur Schlesinger, who was president to me? It's me. If you don't dip your toe in the water, Mrs. Russell, Mr. Benjamin, Mr. West, you're going to go nowhere. If you try to run a business as pusillanimously, and effectively as you do, you're never going to make a dime. Mrs. Russell, is it going to bother you when they bury you that you haven't got 2 shekels? What do you think? What do you think? Look, we got the numbers are creeping up. It's like Day of the Living Dead. They're already dead. They just don't know it. Larry West, do you know you're dead? It gets me when these people come in here. They know absolutely squat all about marketing. Between George Kosh and Sandy and you and me and the whole and Linda Ells and the whole kid and Boodle, we know everything about marketing. Mm-hmm. There's only one person more than somebody who knows marketing, and that is everybody. So we are the people who could help them and make a response. And the only reason I'm letting Larry and Mrs. Russell and Benjamin and Leon stay here is to beat on them. Because these people need tough to get out of the place where they're at. Where they are right now is the lower echelon. They get no respect. They have no money. They have no fun. Hey, flying off to Europe to buy things the way I do, that is fun. It's expensive as all hell, but it's fun. What do you think? What do you think we can do? What do you want to do for these people?
The fact of it is that if they don't see after 15, 20 times what a profit can do for them, and they see real people are here, and that's what hooked me a long time ago, is that we are real people. We care about each other's success. That's why I do what I do. And the fact of it is failure is not an option for me, because I am fully engaged every single day in doing my promotion. And I tell people this. I said, yes, I work a full-time job. I don't make excuses, and I'm making money from home. I'm helping me and my family, plus I'm helping the greater community.
I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be, now that I'm a certified old person, and you know how gnarly old people can be. Oh, God. Howard, gnarly, and all the beating on the head with like a cane. I have a project. I'm going to finish my book, and it's going to be a classic. And then I'm thinking of writing a book called Money, how to get it, how to have it, how to use it, how to store it. I'm going to charge $1,000 per copy. Each copy will be signed. There'll be a legal document inside that says you are allowed to use this for your own purposes. You can show it to no one. You can trade it with no one. You can not copy a word. Comes with a document that they have to sign before they are allowed into it. George sets up the lockbox. You get in only if you pay the $1,000. No refunds of any kind. $1,000 per copy. And you know what, Mrs. Russell, Mr. Benjamin, I will have less trouble selling $1,000 per copy in a lockbox than I have selling the combined works of every internet genius that ever there was. We're giving it away for $9.95. Forget that. This is going to be for my birthday present. I'm going to have lunch with George. I was like, George, how would you like to split my brain 50-50? You have to set up the lockbox. I'll write the book. The only people who get to use are the ones that have signed their name, that they understand the terms and conditions of readership and use. Whoa! For one thing, the buzz off that book will be incredible. They'll go, wow, what? Jeffrey Lant, well, what are you doing now? $1,000 a copy, yeah! Should we get one? We're never going to know otherwise. Should we? Well, can you afford it? People will find $1,000 when they will not find $99.95. You mark my words. Anybody want to disagree with me? Anyone want to agree with me? Want to speak up? Linda, LZ, Mr. Martello, what do you think?
I truly believe that, yes, if you charge $1,000, you have already established yourself as a brand 40, 50 years ago.
And the
fact of it is that the key online is establish yourself as somebody that can solve problems. Instead of giving a person to hit a nail, a screwdriver, you're giving them a hammer.
Okay, so here's the vital selling proposition that used to be called the unique selling proposition, and that is, this book will guarantee that you will become a multimillionaire if and only if you follow the directions. If you do not follow the directions, all bets are off. In other words, I'm saying, you want to be a multimillionaire, Mr. Benjamin? Oh, so Sahi, I long to be good. Get $1,000, sir. That means selling all the goats I ever owned. Well, that's your problem, isn't it, Sonny? Couldn't you? No. Wouldn't you? No. And don't ask me any other way either, because no is the order of events right here. Can you picture how strong that would be? I could produce a book with nothing on it, not even a word, and sell it for $1,000. I'm really beginning to believe. Believe and you will achieve. What's this, Russell? Would you pay $1,000 to become a multimillionaire? Look at the drop in the bucket. I get $1,000. They get multimillionaire. What's the big? You could sell that book for 5 cents. I could give it to you and come to your home and serve your dinner too, but I'm not going to.
Or you could have me come over and eat all your food.
That's right. Well, I could go on a meat diet. I could just feed Howard and lose weight. I want to say a couple of things. First of all, this is the first day of 2015. Let me be very clear. This is going to be the best year for entrepreneurial endeavors in the history of the world. Quote me. There is more money floating around on Wall Street than you could shake a stick at. Everybody's year results are way up. Bonuses are way up for the first time in years. Wall Street's creeping back to those astronomical bonuses that they love so much. What I want to say is, if you cannot make money in 2015, then give it up and go to work at Burger King for minimum wage and shut your mouth and be grateful that you're employed. Mrs. Russell, did you hear words that I said about you? By the way, just for the record, this program is going to be circulating all over the earth. People in Bangladesh and Argentina and Spokane, Washington are going to hear what I say and go, well, he's surely an arrogant SOB. You know, tell me something we haven't known for 68 years. I was the most arrogant baby in the whole birthing room. So, Howard, first problem number one, the people are not going to do their promotions, which means they're not going to grow their lists. What do you want to say about that? Now, listen to me. I'm going to address Benjamin and Mrs. Russell. Folks, you don't have a list now. You don't know how to create lists. You do not know how to use them. You do not know how to milk them for bucks every single day. And you're telling me you're in business? I'm telling you that you're crazy. Howard?
As Dr. Lant says, George, Sandy, and Dr. Lant give us everything we need. You get trained every single week. You have your own Amazon store. You have so much stuff here. There's things that I haven't even used because every single day I wake up before I go to work, I promote. Even if I feel tired, I promote. If I'm on lunch break, I promote. If it's raining, I promote. Dr. Lant wrote a mantra about this. The fact of it is that you build your list and you squeeze as much profit out of it as you can. I'm living
every day you want money. You know, like yesterday, no one figured out what I was doing. I was sitting there with my little clock. It says 1:28 p.m. and I was noting, kind of like the contractions when somebody is born. I was noting how many minutes had to go by before the next sale. There is a mathematical prediction, George, no doubt, about algorithms and all that stuff. I knew that we had to have so many minutes between sales to have a chance to reach the goal. And I was right up, I remember it was 2 hours before the deadline. We still had 3 sales to make in 2 hours. And I got up and I walked to the window and I said, I am going to get those sales if it kills everyone. Well, that's a little intense, right? We got the sales with 2 seconds to spare. All 3 came in. You know, if you set the goal, you'll make the goal. If you live the goal, you breathe the goal. My father, when I was about 12 years old, gave me a copy of Think and Grow Rich, the oldest warhorse of a money-making book that there is. That book, anyway, he gives me this book. It's a father-son moment. He says, lad, I want you to have this book. This is my personal book. I want you to read it. So I did. So years later, I was by the people that produced that Napoleon Hill Foundation, if I would write the preface. I said, this is like karma. So I'm asked to write the preface of a book that my father was like, read this book. And there was one thing that Napoleon said. He said, if you want to make money, you sleep money. You eat money, you live money, you breathe money, you travel money, you get the picture. And sure enough, if you will focus on the goal. I had a goal yesterday. I was damned if I was going to lose that. I wouldn't care about, except for personal pride, but I was going to do whatever was necessary. And I did. I don't know, nobody said anything. No one said a friggin' word to me.
Plus, you
except
were giving them more
have
associates.
a good rest. I was giving them whatever was necessary to make the goal, to bring the money in. The little bit extra that I gave was worth giving away if it helped me, for nothing, not least, if my mental disposition. I don't like to lose, and so too many of you go, well, tomorrow's another day. That's the Scarlett O'Hara approach. She's standing on the hill overlooking Terra, and that was my famous last scene. She goes, after all, tomorrow is another day, and I want to start. Shut, Scarlett! How about today? I'm hungry today. I want food today. Tomorrow is another day. I mean, it's a famous line. It's a gorgeous line. It's a wonderful line for literature, but it's a lousy marketing line. Okay, here we have Benjamin. Benjamin, you've been listening to us, because if you have and you want to make money, we are the company. I am the man who makes the deals. You want a deal, Benjamin? Or do you want to sit up there and go, whoa, he's intense. He's intense. And is that our president who just came in? Oh, she didn't stay. I wanted to say Happy New Year to Sandy. Sandy is our secret weapon. I mean, everybody knows that. I'm going to say right now. I think sometimes she comes in here to look and see if I've overheated and I have her to the hospital. I'm sure that sometimes she must think, oh, Jeffrey's okay. He's pretty intense. I get wound up. I am a very passionate person. I hate waste. I hate watching people fail who don't need to. I hate hearing all the garbage and watching them do the exact opposite. Like, for example, I fundamentally do not understand a person like Benjamin, who nothing, off nothing, doesn't talk, doesn't laugh, doesn't smile, doesn't add a micro to the sum total of human existence, and yet for some reason, best known to God, he thinks he's a marketer. What is he marketing?
Lotions and potions. Nothing.
Yeah,
Dust.
absolutely nothing. Okay, let's go on to the next thing these people are going to do wrong. They're not going to promote. They're not going to have leads. They're not going to learn the secret of helping people out. Get on the phone and call them. Linda Elsie is so good about this. When she gets a new person, she is on that phone, like lickety split. That's to establish rapport. Make them feel special. It's such a cheap thing to do. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot of time.
No, you don't.
Although, if you're unwary, they'll get all over you. They'll call you and say, Linda, my shoe needs tying. I was going to call Linda the other day. I have some dexterity issues. I was going to call Linda and say, Linda, my shoes are untied. Can you come over and tie them for me? And she said, oh, I can't come right now. Well, I'll come in a couple hours. If I pressed it, she'd probably come. Get on the phone and make a following.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is an associate? An associate is an asset. An associate and asset have the same root. Yep. ASSET, asset. Yep. So exact same root. How many of you try to turn every associate into an asset? They are the building blocks. Oh, Sandy. First of all, I want to say thank you for everything that you do for us. It's magnificent. I know you like to hide out, but every once in a while you need to come on. Particularly on days when I'm flying high. I'm not. I know you're not knowing. I know you're not. Anyway, you're trying. It wouldn't work. I was just explaining to. What did you think, Sandy, when you came in this morning and saw all the sales yesterday? What were the words that sprung into your head? He's good.
For another eggnog.
I didn't have a single eggnog this whole holiday. Not a single drop.
Me either.
People were accusing me of being OD'd on eggnog. It's not true. On the other hand, these two huge fruitcakes arrived. Tanya Vick sent me one, and Robert Norman sent me another one. Exactly. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, although God only knows if you say that to my face, I'll spit at you. Yesterday was like, for me, a Harvard teaching moment. At Harvard, the professor saw that this was an opportunity to teach a point of whatever, about British history or whatever it was. He stopped the clock, so to speak, and they would start the discussions. And these discussions could be funny, they could be tragic, they could be extremely punishing to your ego if you were on the wrong side of the issue and your classmates were pummeling you. And by the way, anybody, Sandy Hunter is in the room, and we are glad that she is. Anyway, the bottom line was, yesterday for me was a 24-hour teaching moment. When I wanted people to say, this is what you do. The difference between a successful person and a non-successful person is the successful person doesn't think it's odd to work. I didn't think it was odd. I was just determined that I was going to hit the goal. I was absolutely 110% say, I'm going to hit this goal, come hell or high water, get out of my way. And we did, with 3 seconds to spare on the old year. I like the records like that, although, my God almighty, it drives me. I was crushed. I was so sleepy at the end. I probably was awake for 3 seconds. I was lucky I didn't sleep in the corridor. We are here with Howard Martell, senior monitor of 5 or so years now. Sandy Hunter, who's been with us from this beginning of time. Sandy, I've told this story many times, and I'm going to tell it again. I've said to you, how many of you would have accepted this proposition? When I went out to Edmonton for the first time, which was probably, maybe, it wasn't this time of year, it had to be in the fall because I wasn't being frozen to death. The question for the House was, how many of you would have accepted membership in Worldprofit under this, at George's terms? George must have read Sir Winston Churchill's great speech, I have nothing to give you but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. He must have read it because he said, I have nothing to offer you but HTML. I still don't, to this day. I'm going to confess. I don't know what HTML is. I don't know what the hell it did. I didn't ever know at the time. But he kept saying HTML. I thought, what the hell is that? What does it mean? People say these initials to make, I don't know what they use regular language. He said this. How many of you would have taken the bait and said, when he said, I'm offering you nothing but hard work, HTML, no guarantee of success, no unnecessary money, no models that work, no models that have been proven, how many of you would have said, oh, I can hardly wait. I'll quit my job and rush out over to your complete dead of a place. Everything that's on this page wasn't on this page. George Kosh and Sandy Hunter and I brought it forth from the desert. And there isn't a person who would have said, you mean you want me to give up my job that pays minimum wage for the opportunity to make hundreds of millions of dollars? No way, babe! I'm keeping the Burger King job. Entrepreneurs at some point have to commit. They have to take the step that they don't know what's going to result. You know, one of the great things about the book that I'm writing now, my autobiography, is I examine in detail the years 1978 and 78, which was the turning point in my professional life. In 1978, I walked out on a good-paying job at Harvard University to nothing. No income, and for the last, since 1979, I have not had a paycheck. Have not had any guaranteed income. Now, how many of you would have given that up? The opportunity, the thought that maybe you might get rich, maybe you wouldn't, you know what I'm talking. What do you think? He does have a lot of the go, but he's making time for us, which is the important thing. Well, Howard, would you have given up your job if I said, Howard, I've given you no guarantee, absolutely nothing you can stand on. Good luck, Howie. What would you have done? I mean, I know what anybody did. Your wife would have called me up and said, "You're responsible for his." I got to tell you, I got to tell everybody a funny story about when you and your wife came to visit me. Howard and his wife were designated the guinea pigs to come and see me, And I have my theories about that meeting, but one of the things that they got to the front door. For those of you who have been here like Sandy, you'll remember, you know, the front door. And they stood there, afraid to cross the threshold. And I said, come in, come in. Oh, and they looked like two hobbits. Given the new Hobbit movie that's out, they were immaculately, Howard and Bonnie were immaculately dressed. There was not a hair out of place. I looked like I usually look, like I'd rolled out of bed, which was probably the case. And they thought it was like they were crossing the threshold into Middle Earth. Where the wizards were residing, and it was a scary moment. So Bonnie wants to sit down, and I grab her. Oops, no, people can sit in these chairs. And she said, what? These are chairs. I said, no, these are relics. These are artifacts of important people from days of my life. She said, what can we go? I'm scared. So I met it on the floor, of course, right here at my feet, sitting there, and she didn't like that, did she? She thought it was, oh my God, weird. So what was the first thing she said when she got into the car? She said, lock the doors and gun that motor, boy.
Now, my head was hurting after talking to Dr. Lant. I mean, yes, I think my wife expected that, oh, he's a millionaire, he's got his McMansion, and he's going to have all these servants and these cars, and we go up to his suite and like, oh, this is pretty, I thought it was awesome, you know, because that's my first millionaire I ever met, and that kind of propelled me to where I'm at now, is like, wow, that was a pretty cool experience. Even though my head hurt, I got to see some cool things, got to meet one of our leaders in our company, and the fact of it is that really propelled me into a different level of doing promotion and saying, hey, I got something special at my hands, you know, and it was all sincere. It was, we had fun, you know, we got to know each other a lot better. And the fact of it is that I try to instill that in any dealers that I bring in or any people that I try to bring into our community when I'm up here, because I truly believe, I know we have something here special. And I'm glad that George, Sandy, and Dr. Lant have my back and the other monitors, because if it wasn't for the monitors, I truly think that Worldprofit would be like any other business. It's the realness that we have here.
It's the reality of people talking to people like Claude and Benjamin, who still have said nothing. For some reason, they perceive this as a threatening move. Reality is threatening. What do you think? Now, let me tell you my take on this in about 3 seconds. We are the third rock from a sun. Mm-hmm. We're a bunch of gravel around a pole. We are going into oblivion. We come out of oblivion. We go into oblivion. We're facing a black hole somewhere down the road. This is a good life. Out of this, we have to function. We have to function normally. The most important thing of all is to, first of all, don't worry as much about it as you do. Like, I would like to know, Benjamin, you already know that people worldwide are going to be asking themselves, why didn't Benjamin say hello? People are going to be sitting in Tuscaloosa this afternoon after Patrice gets it up. They're going to say, what's wrong with that boy? Why doesn't he say something? And I'd like an answer to that. Benjamin, are you there? Are you real? Are you cutting edge or whatever? What do you want to say to him? Because it's clear to me he's saying no. He's just not going to come out and play.
Benjamin, do you really truly want success? Because you're not rejecting me or Dr. Lant. You're rejecting yourself. You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, do I truly want success on the internet? If you do, we can help you.
You know,
see, he didn't want success. He wanted a free lunch.
Well, God knows he's in your boat then. Let's say one of the things that's going to happen this year, and that is who. Oh, now this is going to get real interesting. Benjamin, have you been listening in on what we've been saying about you? Well, okay, Benjamin, this is your first visit. Did you watch the video carefully? Now, Benjamin, I have a mission. That mission is to help make you money. More, and I can help you make more money than you can do for yourself. Do you believe that I can help you make money quicker and faster? more depth than you can help yourself? Yes or no? And there it stops. Now, Benjamin, we need an answer. Do you believe you did what with Lisa? And by the way, I'm the CEO and the co-founder, so don't tell me you did it with anybody. I'm the guy that makes the deals. All right? You want a deal? I'm going to make one for you right now. Don't tell me you talked about it with Lisa. My name isn't Lisa. It hasn't been Lisa for a long time.
I'm sorry.
I can't. Look, he's telling me he's with the CEO who can make any deal to pull him up. Benjamin, are you missing the point? I can make the deal, any deal, right here, right now. Telling me that you talked to somebody else really isn't going to do you any good. Do you want to come into this company, or do you want to sit there like a spider that has no place to go? It's your choice. I can bring you in with a great offer, or I can leave you by the side of the road. What do you want? Howard, you might want to advise him. I have one problem here. Well, of course you don't have the money, baby. You did everything wrong for your whole life. How can you have any money? Are you going to let? If you're going to let that stand in your way, you are never going to get out of the rut. Never. I am prepared to help pull you out of the cesspool that you're in. Do you want my help, or do you want to rusticate right in that pit? You tell me right now. You get one shot at me. This is it. Do you want help? My help specifically, yes or no? Don't tell me that Lisa told you this, and Lindy told you this, and Peggy told you this, and Sharon told you this. I'm telling you. See? This is a guy who doesn't understand that his whole future could be immeasurably uplifted if he make the right decision now. You want to advise him? Oh, yes, Mamma Mia, Benjamin, you're making so many mistakes.
Benjamin, where are you located at? Let me ask you this. Where are you located at? Are you in the United States? Are you overseas?
Now let me tell you a little bit of
Africa.
He's in Africa. What Africa's a big place. Where in Africa? You are in Uganda. Well, I happen to have been involved with the anti-Idi Amin Ugandan organization for a long time. I was one of their sponsors here in Boston, so I know about Uganda. I love Uganda, the garden spot of Africa, and what a mess the internal politics are. You know, Benjamin, you can't make any money in Uganda. Confirm it. You can't make any money there. I don't care if you're there for 1,000 years, you're going to be poor, aren't you? Give me an answer. Give me an answer. Do you realize that making money and Uganda just don't go together? Well, I'm waiting. And in just a minute, we're going to turn Benjamin loose. My question was, do you understand that you cannot make any money in a home-based or other business in Uganda? Uganda is a basket case of Africa. So how are you going to make any money there? You should be all over me saying, be my friend, I'll do whatever, I'll cook your food, I'll groom your cat, I'll do whatever, I'll feed Howard his lunch, I'll do whatever is necessary. But you're not saying that, Benjamin. You're hanging back. We've got the money. You don't have any money. You've got nothing right now that I want. Do I want to own a slice of Uganda? Sure, if I want to get Ebola. Do I want to go to a holiday? Sure, if I want to get some kind of parasites. You've got to think, what would a person like Dr. Lant want well, I'll tell you what, it's my dedication to this company that wants to help you. That's what you've got. Now, are you going to be a willing student, Benjamin, or are you going to be a pain in the butt? I don't care, to be perfectly blunt. Well, members of the congregation here advise Benjamin. Do you ever get people here who are not just ready? Look, Benjamin, you're definitely not ready. You're not ready because you're mentally not prepared. You are prepared to cope with poverty, and I think that's despicable. I was given the chance to work hard with a chance of getting out of poverty, or the surety of having a couple of crumbs and staying in poverty. I'd go for the possibility of making money. You don't even go for that. You bring nothing to the table and you want more time. What's time going to give you? You're going to become an old, decrepit old fart. Then you're going to be happy? Well, members, I don't see you advising old Benjamin. He's one soul that's going to go down the Ubangi River and drown in a quicksand.
Benjamin Button.
You get capital of quicksand. What is their country based on? Quicksand and murder. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring up Ms. Patrice for a few comments. We're going to bring Howard Martell back to rap. Hopefully, Benjamin will get the old-time religion, or even a new religion. And I'm going to want to speak to Robert Jacobet. Well, Patrice, what do you make of this?
It's very clear to me, but obviously not clear to Benjamin there, that he's got a wonderful opportunity presented to him. All he has to do is take that one step and say, please, help me. Yes, I am in a poor situation. Help me. And he would be on his way to success.
Can I tell you a little bit about Uganda?
Sure.
I was very involved in the anti-Idi Amin. Idi Amin was called Idi Amin Dada, and he used to throw, among many other things that he did, he threw people to crocodiles to watch them being chewed to death. He poisoned people. He disseminated tribes. He ordered limbs chopped off. He took Uganda, which is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and he destroyed it. And since then, there's been tribal violence, mass savagery. This Benjamin character lives in hell. It's beautiful when it's beautiful, but it's hell. And yet he won't take any steps to get out of it. What can one do?
Benjamin, take that step. Reach out. Help is here for you and all the other 126 members. And if you want to catch the replay for this program, it'll be up on the YouTube channel Patrice Porter, and up on our new World Profit Tube at www.worldprofittube.com. And also you can check out my Home Business Central, developed at World Profit here, at www.20waystoprofit.com. And I help people to create abundance by gardening. Check that out at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. And with that, I'll say my adieus and see you.
No. Just stay tuned. Sit down, Missy. I want you to vote on Benjamin's future. I'm voting that he has no future whatsoever. This was right now, over the last hour, has been the most intense hour of his life. He unfortunately, he didn't go for it. He didn't show us any sign of interest, any sign that he was even willing to look at anything. He showed us nothing. This is my vote. He's doomed. I vote down. No, Benjamin. We don't do that. No.
He's on the wrong path, and I mean, again, a terrific opportunity right in front of you. Grab it. And to all the other members and guests, terrific opportunity, grab it before it's gone. Okay, now I'll say my adieus and see you on the next Anything.
Now you are free.
Anything goes, 1 p.m. Eastern daily.
Yes, Howard has to go. Bring up Howard. We're going to give Howard a couple. We still have 5 minutes.
Benjamin.
I'm sure there's some biblical verse because Benjamin is a biblical name. What bothers me is this. I'm unintelligible. I hear myself fine. What about you, Howard? Do you hear me fine?
I hear it fine also.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. I care about Benjamin to this extent. I made the strongest possible case for him, and he turned it down. This shows you how embedded in failure he is. One of the last things that I want to say, this is a program dedicated to what you will not do that is necessary to succeed. You people with negative attitudes will not even begin to deal with them. You'll live with them. I don't believe in that. I say get them out. Get away from the people who drag you down. If people can't build you up, then get rid of them. We only go this way once. And if you don't take advantage of all the goodies, you don't get a second chance to have a first life. It doesn't work that way. I am vividly waiting. I want to tell you something. You heard it here. I'm going to be 68 in about 5 weeks. We're going to have a big party. You know why? Because I'm getting better and younger every year. As I age, I find out so many things that I was told in my life were complete and utter crap. And most teachers didn't know anything about what they're teaching about. Most people didn't know anything about love, honor, and the American way. In other words, we were all fed a lot of bills of goods, a lot. So I'm going to be dedicated to cleansing myself of all these absurd notions. I'm going to find some local branch of the Ganges River, and I'm going to immerse myself in it like a good pilgrim should. People, make this your vow. Get rid of the negativity in you and around you. If you sense it, see it, if you smell it, move out. Howard, last comment for you today.
As Dr. Lant says, first and foremost, as an entrepreneur, you have to have the inner belief system. You got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and do what's required. Worldprofit's going to help you with that. They're going to give you training. They're going to give you all the tools. They're going to give you everything you need to build a marketable business and create multiple streams of income. If you don't believe me,
do something which
the fact of it is that we are here to help you.
Stan Davis, this comment is for you, your buddies in Paris, South Africa. Are you with me, Dan? I've been thinking, should I tell Stan this or should I not? You babble everything else. I'm going to tell him this. Stan Davis, are you coming up next? Are you here? Do you listen? Are you hearing? I'm not going to tell this anecdote unless you're there to hear it. Give Stan about 3 seconds. Stan Davis, are you there? Okay, now I'm going to tell you something for your friend. This went to my heart. I didn't say. Stan Davis has some friends in a place called Paris, South Africa. And he had never visited their website. Right? You told me that in fact, you were absolutely startled that I found their website before you did, because he was going out there to Paris to visit them. Paris is Afrikaans for Paris. Mm-hmm. He's got a friend who's running what amounts to a flea market. And the photographs that are on the internet are jumbled, they're not attractive, there's no selling going on, there's no oomph, there's no hook, there's just a bunch of stuff. And I wanted to say, Stan, boy, put me on the phone for 15 minutes with you, buddy, and I'll make you persona gracissima for the rest of your life. Whatever you do it to attract the most attention. Spruce it up, clean it out, make an impression, make people want to come in and drool all over your thing because you've got the best. Don't just give in and just stack stuff. In fact, I was thinking, Stan, about Mr. Frank Kennedy of Scarlett O'Hara. He got it to win. He had a department. He had a general store. Scarlett found out about it. Immediately said, rearrange it. I'm the Scarlett O'Hara of your life, Stan. And in Paris, Oklahoma, South Africa, I aim to be the mayor of Paris meeting. Howard, you still have 1 minute to go. Any last sweeping thoughts?
People, do your promotion. If you want this to be your best year, you need to do the promotion.
You absolutely do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the message, our new message. All you monitors, we have a new message. Send D8 is a new message on the screen. You want to read, send D8. And when you see somebody with a name from a third country or Russia or whatever, Put this message in front of them and hope that they follow it. Because otherwise, we're going to have a lot of people like Benjamin who just sit here. He may even in his heart of hearts know we're right, but he's just going to sit there until one of these days someone comes to his house and does it. That is reality in those. We don't have that. So one of the things we should do today is God bless America. I'm telling you, all of our problems, and God only knows we have them, the shaky, wonky leadership on both, in the quotation marks, on both sides of the aisle. I'm still glad I'm here. You couldn't drag me to some of these countries and be bitten by snakes and bent down and macheted to death. So there's my comment. I'm going to stay up. Who's the next monitor?
It should be Stan Davis.
Miss Lisa Cosby. Okay, Stan Davis, I'm going to stay up with Stan, and then Miss Lisa Cosby's coming up, and she's coming along, which is fine. When you see our new monitors, bring them up. Don't wait for them to ask. Bring them up. And Benjamin, my heart goes out to you. I don't believe you're going to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I don't believe you're going to make it. I hope I'm wrong. Unfortunately, I rarely am. All right? I'm going to go down officially and come back officially. And Howard, you were good today. Tell Bonnie. I'm still waiting for that Christmas present.